6.
Okay.
If y'all want to have some appetizers, we've got this. You can nibble on this while we're all sitting around talking. The first 30 minutes is mix and mingle anyway, some appetizers. Welcome to Paseo Pad.
Looks great.
Hi, Ryan.
Just water for me.
Okay. I can get that. So the bedroom, like everything will be for rent. Like if you know what I mean, if you just want to run the bedroom.
No sorry needed. Good vibes. Bring lots of good vibes. So don't be sorry.
You know, old people do that.
And women do that.
It's not old people, it's every age.
Well,
I do executive health coaching and to remedy anxiety. That's one thing.
So, how do you guys?
Constantly saying you're sorry, and you're triggering your brain to be anxious because you're always worried about sorry.
Okay.
What if I offended Jeff? There's my concern.
We learned about
apologize. You don't know Jeff. I'm really anxious. What if Jeff? I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. So my point is, you didn't overdo it.
What do you do?
Do it.
I'm the founder of Cannabis.
I guess I don't know what can't do.
Oh, so we're Cannabis and
No, I like
then we can get a lot more confidence. We create a really good one. And so right now, at the beginning, so what we've done is just medicate and meditate.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have like a place?
So right now we've been doing most of them at Liberty Central, 17 or 25th.
Yeah, okay.
And whenever the weather's nice, we like to go outside.
Outside, okay.
Lakeside, riverside.
So you just have different places to meet at?
Yeah, it's kind of just like depending on you know, the participants and what they're interested in doing.
Yeah.
A lot of times we like to get that feedback, you know what I mean? And so the meditation itself goes like that as well. So basically we just meet at 6, just bring your own cannabis. Everyone does fellowship for about an hour.
Okay.
And then at 7:10 we start to talk about meditation, and if everybody shares on a specific type of meditation, or wants to meditate over a specific and usually there's only like 1 or 2 suggestions, so it makes it really easy.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be me. Like, well, I want to try.
Yeah, but also sometimes we'll meditate 2 or 3 times, because you know we may do
Different
a
things.
5-minute meditation or a 15-minute meditation,
Yeah.
and we're giving ourselves a power for the meditation part of the process.
Okay.
So it's really just open to the flow, it's sweet together.
Yeah, I like that.
A lot of times we'll do something creative, and then like as we're doing it, people are like, "Oh, it's like 7:30 already," and I'm like, "Congratulations, y'all been meditating this whole time."
Right.
You know, like you didn't even know
You
it.
didn't
You
know.
just thought we were like hanging out playing drums.
But it's part of it.
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
It's mindfulness. Mindfulness is synonymous with meditation.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
it's
Why you'll know is there's turquoise pillars on the
you're
front.
meditating. You know, like
No, I love that.
you get into painting for
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 minutes, an hour, 5 hours, whatever the case is. You know, if you allow yourself to get into it, that is getting into So it's a very simple yet
Social
profound
media, I'm assuming.
Yes. Facebook is our main online
Place
platform.
to, okay,
currently.
what is it? How would I search it?
Hannah Church OKC page and Hannah Church OKC. I have a personal profile for it too.
Here. Canada Church OKC page.
Yeah. There's also a group.
Yeah,
I see, I
she
got
saw
the
the
group.
group
Oh,
first.
okay.
I got the group too. Wonderful.
Oh, can you see that? I don't know.
And I really would like people on Facebook to, like, if they wanna add things, just for it to be like spiritually inclined, obviously, and religious news is welcome, combining the two is really where we're at, but really, I want us to be a neutral, safe space for people to talk about their spiritual experiences, and so that we can, like, learn from each other in a non-judgmental way, because that's the beauty of being human, is like we're able to learn from each other's experiences without having to necessarily go through that same spot. And like, not every being gets that level of consciousness. So I want for this to be a place that embodies that culture.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know that I'll have anything deep to share, but
Oh, no,
something
everybody
close to
does
like,
that.
good, that is good. That's your bench. For sure.
Looks like you're doing better now than you were earlier. Come over here, guys.
Sorry, miss.
Good, how are you?
Yeah, we'll put space right there. Double you guys.
Sweet on the table, my brother.
Excuse me.
Be over here in the cut. This one I'm saying, man. Tony Drew.
Oh, hey Melissa. Nice to meet you.
That's Ace.
I'm Linda.
Everybody wake up and wave at me or give me a thumbs up. Beautiful, I love it. Let's go into the Philippines right now.
Nice.
Say, we ready for you, where you at? You just sent me a picture, sunrise in Manila.
Very nice.
Sunrise in Manila.
Look at the city.
Alright.
You said in the links there, crazy.
Like New York City.
There's like an hour difference.
I'm learning all kinds of new food down here. I'm like, what's that thing?
Yes, sir.
You send in that link.
Doing that right now. And then the other link is the video. You doing that today?
See my sound today. Really good city.
Can you come back over here?
No.
Oh, you live here?
He was out.
Sorry?
Not even.
No, we don't have till 6.
He's big down with one of those activities.
I know a lot of people in Newcastle, but that is funny.
We gotta sync up on this, please.
Spicy French onion?
It is spicy. Yeah, spicy for sure.
It's got kimchi.
Kimchi.
Yeah, it's got
Kimchi.
I don't know where it's coming from. Kimchi, kimchi sauce.
Yeah, she said.
Oh, the tea is good. Very nice. I'm not sure.
I still didn't ask him.
Maybe I'm rude, huh?
He told me to put it right there because he had us move the chair. Okay,
Did you pick out the countertops already?
Yeah, yeah. Alright, thank you.
Like a dark stone or like light?
In the kitchen's gonna be done, and then we're picking out kind of like
Mm. No, I live in Dallas.
Would you like something?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like something else to drink?
Uh,
We have water and a fruit tea.
Fruit.
Oh, yeah.
or time
And she's in Oklahoma City. She likes telling people that. That's
I do like to be like her.
I'm real estate for Marriott. It's work.
There you go, yeah.
But I hear you, it's work.
It's work.
You like it, you can use it,
Tony, we just love to
Yeah,
know
that's what I
the
did.
specifics
I
on
know.
it.
That is just green tea, matcha, probably Larco tea. No, actually didn't put any sugar in it, but it's juice. It's mango juice that makes it so
Tastes
sweet.
really good.
It's mango juice and passion fruit juice mostly. Thank you. Like that? We use a bowl to make sure everybody has water, please.
You do like this, stuff.
I would start by filling that up with ice.
No, it's so much.
Put your water.
You got that vibe to it.
The biggest walk up.
You said what?
Yeah, I'll probably be.
Oh, that's what I saw.
It's a big old walk.
In the back.
How much time left into it? How's that? Sean? You said what's behind? Oh, okay.
If in the future you wanted to have.
Like, yeah, all the cats, like kitchen or? Oh, I got you, okay, custom, okay.
So yeah, I guess it looks good.
I like coming, oh, you got a picture of it? You just slide over there.
You've got. You're gonna wanna show. He's fine.
I'm good, I have some over there. Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, as long as he's any kind of technically.
What is our real turnaround So what do you need for a meal? One night, everybody, okay. Okay.
Through downstairs and then.
Got it.
So they work, how they work in it like a week though, aren't they? Like 4 days, like 4 days. I mean, I still tell people.
Well, so they have 14 business days, but it's been taking anywhere from a week to 2 weeks, so.
Oh, they always make.
Yeah, some people have had success like on legal or and asking for like an update of the status of their application and give them the application number. And I think that speeds up the process some. So like the few
First base.
Oh, no. So, if you have several people that want to use their license at the same time. Right, so you get 3 more, and then you have a gathering, it can be a cookout or whatever, you know, and then we show up and take care of everyone, and leave, and y'all just enjoy your day. By the time we leave, we've submitted all the applications, and we're waiting for 2 business days for medical license to
And the host either gets a free card.
Oh, the host either gets, no, $10 per person, or each person can get $10 discount.
Oh, on there, per renewal.
It's up to the host.
Okay, gotcha.
So if you wanted to.
I saw it.
It's got a little thing on it.
Okay. No worries. It'll be like.
Hair.
5 images.
There's a color in hair. The spider monkey has like hair on the top, but on the bottom it
That's
says.
feel free to jump up and filter. You put these more than one.
Oh, yeah.
It's like other
I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, but this is where the video will be, that's why I was putting it over there, so when we're live, we won't have you sneaking out early. Make yourself comfortable.
I'm like, come back, come.
How's the dip, guys?
yeah.
That's actually kimchi tzatziki, so it's part Mediterranean, part Asian. And it's just a dip that I stumbled on one night when I had the munchies, and I was like, oh my god, this is so good! So now I've been making it regularly. Just discovered that one a few months ago though. I asked you guys to taste the soup earlier, and I was so busy I didn't ask you guys to
It's good.
That's like the concept of mine going forward.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I got Tanola going over here.
You can still get see how much.
Yes, I'm at, and you gotta take those issues fast.
The thing I opened the web, I'm sure that's custom fit for that.
You have to try it.
I'm talking more. Yeah. 11 is happening. Now it's taking this, that's the same time they don't do it.
Lumpias, spring rolls. I bet lumpias style.
I know you got the heart. Good, blessings to your time, bro. Because at that point in time, you can feel this on us.
Betty, I've got this high because it turns out on me. I feel like it's gonna be perfect now. Because it just works as ASAP. I'm gonna go back to the top.
Sorry, I was having to take a picture with the walk.
Oh, you're fine. Just announce it. We'll stay out of your way.
We're taking a picture with the walk.
What do you think of Pat, man?
I'm a fan.
Right, baby. That's what I like to hear.
I live in 20 feet from this area, was just drug infested.
Is that my phone?
Yes, sir, it's right here.
In town.
I picked it up and it's on the
On the corner?
Yeah, when I was getting there, so you walk in, it's just steps, go straight up.
When she bought them, she.
When Hardy was in public school, so I went to Hardy when I was in public school for 4 years for that.
533 Northwest Thursday.
I bet.
That's why there's sometimes saying that, I was in that.
Oh, yeah.
Her mother, you would have to go back and then the back of this place. She was $30,000 a house. We thought it was a lot of money back then. Now they're 30,000, 240, 250. You see the tower? They're proposing that tower? 1,907 feet. Almost doesn't get close.
Man.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
1,907 feet.
Yeah, it's supposed to be what, the 5th largest in the world or
Maybe
something?
the largest in the United States.
Yeah.
5th largest in the world. Oklahoma with all those winds.
And earthquakes. Right. But isn't there like a series of 3 buildings? So there's like 2 and then they build the other one. What happened?
There's, I believe, 3 that are like the size of the Denver Tower, and then there's one that's twice the size of it.
What's the building? Like, what's the company?
Oh, I don't know.
So, I remember.
Oh, probably that group or something. They're making that thing over there on Expressway, right about 10 minutes. Like high-end apartments in the boutique hotel.
Unless it's a
And it was pre-built.
It's like a giant parking garage. We have like a car elevator.
I've been over there.
But if you just.
That's what I was thinking, because they got them used to like,
It's right about there. I mean,
that's what I'm loving, right?
It's good to start to.
another one of those I don't know what.
People make parking.
People's phones. Trying to sell records.
I would love y'all to totally be in the picture with me.
I remember talking about the United States, all the power of intersect through here. So it's quick to
Love it.
faking the funk.
He's not a hater.
I'm not saying
That's all the tax revenue for it.
Energy Stadium, so brand new soccer
They're not
stadium.
playing tap anymore.
Brand new soccer stadium. Cold.
Like on the south side of the river.
Amphitheater thing down there. Which is a really good location. It's like right in Westbury.
They're building.
Like from the turnpike, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Right, you know what I mean?
Somebody was traffic up there. But it's tax dollars. So now they're coming. Pre-sales.
Like a come and go.
So I guess the, is it one of those just residential?
Thursday, Friday, 65th, 26th.
We've got Monday.
March 18th, March 19th.
Then you can play on Thursday or Friday.
I've got some exotic.
Even though we have. He must have.
Possibly the weather, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. What's your name? Cody. Nice to meet you. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Cody and Brandon, you guys are both in real estate.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Is it commercial, residential?
I do land mainly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Land development or just land?
Land development and sales, finance and all that.
Oh, super.
Yeah.
There you go, Derek.
Rate's not very good for that right now.
Yeah. It's pretty high, man.
Extremely,
Yeah.
extremely high.
Give me 1 minute, I'll come look. Hey, did you get Cody?
We were hoping to hear that from the Federal Reserve last week, but they just keep them assistant.
Well, it's not gonna be down anywhere near.
I think it's
We were hoping for it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Hopefully one of these presidents comes and makes a change.
I'll show you guys where you're sitting.
Hey, Cody. Hey, I'm Cody. Nice to meet you. Really? Okay. Great to
The first 20 minutes is on my
Those are y'all seats.
Everybody-
Outsiders out, so make yourself at home.
How you guys doing?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
For select service, I'm gonna do full service. So residents in courtyards, therefore, town places, so we're not big. I think it's probably over here.
Start the timer, know exactly how long it's going to every match.
I like the copy. Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is that real fur on it too?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I have one that has.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. I see. Yeah.
Got the-
This, I'm like,
That's what you said, we got it, she started, her career started going up. What it says, we have time.
It's funny, 'cause I said,
every time I say you're in real estate.
Yeah, so, yeah, I've got a company down here, that buy land and yeah, got split it up and then develop it out. Sell people on finance.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a nice little niche and, I know it's better than that.
America.
What about you?
Universal.
Cannon Church?
Locally, Cannon Church.
It's a pleasure to meet you, young lady.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you.
How was it now? I mean, when you see that.
It's the idea with the church and kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a church, that all have that.
Security cameras that we said.
417 Northwest 23rd? 25th, okay.
Yeah, so that's and she's been really nice. There's another place that when I started up, I think we made like kind of switch. A little bigger. But this place is really nice, so they're probably like.
Cool, security cameras specifically, these EQ media and school digital.
Yeah, digital media, football, gaming, digital.
We've got a lot of records in the back of ours, so you can do like,
They already let some that we're gonna.
And help people
We
know
have
that.
the concepts of that, so like if you go into the library,
That's probably also
you see
creative,
whatever it is,
always.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly that. And they don't think about
Like I said, the house.
if you don't make it that way, change it.
and then you walk out of it.
We're live right now on Rumble.
What you doing with the Tesla? What you doing with the Tesla battery packs? Like
But hashtag
Tesla will pay you to hook one of their solar stuff up. So where's your energy? They sell your energy to the grid.
Yeah.
So that's what you're really talking about. So the Tesla batteries, they sell their energy back to the grid. Basically, don't pay once you because whatever you don't use, they sell.
The basic thing I would do is
Everybody else will watch.
and then around
What he does, I'll train this.
Tony is really fun.
sometimes it's like 7:30, kind of depends on, you know, how much everyone's talking and
I won't have some more water, sir.
I haven't had nothing down here yet.
at the time.
Appreciate you, my friend.
But we make it a 5-minute meditation, we make it a 45-minute, 50-minute,
This is really kind of a
meditation. Just kind of depends on
small thing.
some people kind of run away from the idea that meditation is
How many clothes would you say you got?
yeah, like, I can't 5 or 10 minutes. You've got things to do, you've got things to figure out and consider.
You got clothes at the store.
Yeah.
So
Let me check my face.
I'm getting that, just reading is
So with that, other
It's a small store.
Okay, that would be basically all.
yeah.
But I want to continue to make sure as well. I just asked to like,
If I had two
basically
formulas in
know
the storage,
that
that's all I can do.
this is also pretty straightforward. You know, and so that's handshake. And then handshake is like
6 by 6.
all the
No.
I have some interest in Anchorage, Alaska.
I wish I had that
For starting to
Thank you.
I never thought I would see the city. I went to up down yesterday. That's pretty cool.
I'll take some.
Loud music.
And they just don't know what to do with it.
He's got
United States is probably one of the few places that allow freedom of exception.
I had like 3 people not show up. I want a seat. I want a button every seat. It worked out perfect. So I'm glad you brought it.
So, he's interested in starting that.
Does he live here or there?
And you enjoy most of the marketing people show that show too, probably all social media, stuff like that, yeah.
Facebook,
That's a little bit all of our marketing is on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's for a lot of these.
I try to pay for it, and sometimes
Yeah.
You got every,
it's pretty amazing.
I mean, there's anywhere that you want I was
Yeah, no, it's alright, it's like, while you're in the middle of it, anyway, that's something that's really
it's the down here.
You come grab it?
But yeah, it's really a fast growing town.
Yeah, Oklahoma started growing up. It's crazy in the last like couple of years, there's been so much.
That's what we were saying, you get to the point where somebody, well, you're American,
But thanks, Tony.
You said collapse.
Like when the Leafs really like go around the market and the influx of people and they're fighting against them instead of embracing it, playing and going with the people and
Yeah, it was, at the beginning, it was very open on the regular pad. And they
and they're
you
pushing.
have to
They're playing more full of gas, they don't speak.
so that it could be
Better deal with anything.
however,
But beauty.
it was supposed to only be you can go up on the resident. Like 75% of any given business
Beautiful.
mandated it had to be owned by.
They were getting around that quite a bit.
Well, it was because Oklahoma didn't have a law in place which said how one person had to live here to be considered a resident.
You said TGI Fridays have the
So as soon as someone bought it, they're arrested.
Yeah.
That's when they go to TGI Fridays have a resort.
But that's part of the reason
They call
we got such a huge
One thing
influx.
about this organization.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of vendors.
I fix things like that whenever I go to the
But, you know, that's why I do kind of creating the law instead of looking at the different things that can be problematic.
Now it's probably
Like not having an established residence period of time.
you fly over.
Yeah, that was a double whammy, because we had, that was right when COVID.
What do you flap
stimulus
like
money
say?
came in. So you had the beginning of the inflation.
We're 13 hours.
Everybody was spending tremendous amount of money on top of that. Cannabis was going crazy.
Yeah.
Real estate was just
Well,
falling out and off.
We had to connect.
Yeah.
Like DFW or something.
Is that right? I know it. People were just fighting over stuff. I think I had one that was, I was trying to sell a house that I had, I lived in for a while, and things sat there, and it was just like, for 6 months, I was getting the price up. And then all of a sudden, it was percent off, or something, it came through, 10-20% of their market value.
Wow. I mean,
Never
I
happened.
was whenever we had cameras. Because next said it's how
Oh, sure.
it's like,
So you can go either way around the world. Oh, it's pretty much just.
Yeah, right now it's.
They all
it's,
their real estate market in a matter of like 6 months.
Everybody just put it into the, yeah.
But I mean, not just for the business, for the freedom too. There are a lot of people that utilize cannabis.
Yeah.
Back then, regardless.
Yeah.
So the cannabis community is already, that's one of the reasons I knew cannabis. So we take over anything made, and I felt like we have one.
Oh, yeah, so they have fried rice.
There's the process, like, I assume that the church here is, legal entity.
Well, you took
set up with, restaurants, you consider,
So right now, the logistics are kind of like this. We are registered as a not-for-profit church. As long as we follow the guidelines of the non-profit, we are automatically considered a we're not registered with the IRS, but you can register with them once you have everything established. Then all we have to do is we go over it, they say, okay, yes, you're legit, and then you just show them. You don't have to be registered to be.
I think that in the United States,
It just helps with like establishing your legitimacy and letting people see that.
Yeah.
That being said, our sponsors like that has been around for like 7 years. So that helps.
oh, I see, so we get,
What that basically sponsorship means is that people can donate to us as a nonprofit, since they're already established as a nonprofit.
because
That's the receipt comes from that.
everybody's touching their hands on the price goes up.
Right.
So we go over.
And then with that, we are one of those places that someone.
I mean, I would take some
and
stuff.
and get our box or track on where they can get write-offs, but
Yeah, they're
everyone
gonna
else
need
is so we provide we have one financial assistance program where we take a little bit from every purchase that that don't have a Libya's working by them because we don't have money to ever be the reason
Membership to the church, I guess, is that right?
not yet right now. Everyone that is part of our class group or comes to the our basic principle of family
Yeah, that sound like we got a, Philippines, bro.
but we are gonna roll out probably this year, probably in the next 5 months, in a year,
2.5.
Yeah.
She go out there and do it.
that way helps cover the costs and maybe a little bit of a fundraiser.
She's at that 3.
Maybe even have levels of membership.
I mean, you are, I'm a worker, I don't have no space for you to do this.
But that I couldn't mind.
Part of what is gonna help with
When I would go over,
of using infrastructure. So if someone's a member and they have a card, we can say, I would cook for them.
either one of Jeffrey, you just want a Jeffrey.
Yes, that one simple.
What's wrong with Jeffrey and Fresh Prince?
Shows a lot of-
He was nice, Jeffrey and Fresh Prince was nice. He was.
Yeah,
And that kind of just helps with that
I
growth.
think, we buy our clothes, we give her things.
That has that as a more spiritual.
No, the Mario.
Benefit of work that you did and your own So, I've spent a whole that people try
$20 a month.
and then basically, that word plan was all that they had, because it's like, okay, so like, pouch. They're like,
Yeah, you need something.
I smoke
Yeah.
really.
Like a mellow rock.
So now,
Yeah.
they should not let it.
Yeah.
If they really want to,
Yeah, that's
freedom of
Oh,
movement.
yeah.
And there's typing places like honestly, and like you're in line a whole slew of places. So,
That's good, man.
I do know it's some
You look at me, say, someone looked at you, so you was thinking if you don't get mad at me, you know, $100 a month.
Susan and more people come in and help out. It's not cheap. So,
All that's fair.
I can't expect.
You already told us.
That being said, that's some of the.
Ain't that part of what they were talking about today? The Philippines? That's what some of the things were.
That's what this is all about. That's why I love the team aspect. Because I did figure out like a way to help. We talk to when you do a license. Keep afloat.
Yeah.
So like I want for us to be as an organization, which is now so we can make profit as long as it's in line with the mission. You can't also provide the licenses.
You're like a brownie and then she's gonna. Makes sense, they wanna keep their land in their land. Makes sense. You divorce her, or you divorce him.
So
He keeps the money, as they should, they say it's buried in the land. You bring the money here, you keep the land.
But I'm telling you, they want to that person that's the actual
I didn't know what he was talking about.
and so it's kind of built in
One of the things over
but I would like to because it's really like canvas going around covers a lot.
So, if you can get around the whole incident that the religious aspect, you not get
Get your whole fit.
The only problem
Maybe people go over there and get their wedding dress.
There is a whole stuff, get all the wardrobe,
However, there is a Right? I was gonna buy a place called There is an opportunity.
Yeah.
It looked like, you know, I agree.
It looks like that one.
All red, all red. And there were so many branches.
It sounds like club upstairs and bedrooms downstairs.
Yeah, right. But again, with all that, we're at the point where I do
Oh, okay, yeah. I got you.
Open air.
It really does.
They want to be friends.
Anybody need water or anything?
More valuable than
This will be like $13.99 for one of these.
Here, what do you?
They might put it on the stand, turn it to the side, and do it like this.
They've got the dishes from, you know.
I've never been, I didn't know what it was.
More juice, you know. got one more person about to talk, Billy's running late. You all done with that one there? Cody's saying his chocolate flavor, I see.
Oh, yeah. Is it good? I didn't know they were in town, man.
You're a pretty good size.
Oh no, he like sometimes
You're walking out.
and like
Your cat.
What would they do? They got
Anybody else?
Oh, big down there.
It's just one hour.
now when $900 million there's a vote to try and make it pass.
Where's the guys to back up?
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah.
20 foot or better.
It was a pretty good show.
Fast and Furious, right? There you go.
Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, he said Fast and Furious, like, zero down, bro. I don't know. When did Fast and Furious come out? 2001. Hey Siri, when did Fast and Furious come out?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're definitely a fan.
2001. Yeah. Okay. I thought how old I was when I heard the same movie. You know what? Mom and dad sent them away from the US.
That's pretty good now.
6 years.
There's a new video too, it's another video that's down in
Well, it's not just.
No, they're,
It's just like a baby.
When it dive in the ocean,
I swear that's
making it or
So that was just kind of a fluke deal.
yeah. But that was so cool.
what's the match? Nah, not that one. Anyways, they went over there, they didn't want to come back. They still put back in Florida to be arrested. So they still there. Into the blue. It wasn't maybe good, it was, Jessica Allen. Another pretty one. Well, we got the white boy confused too. I said Paul Walker, he said comedy, so.
So I know Tony threw
He was
running
running,
very
coming out here right now, should have sometime. They were roommates. No, that's, Nicolas Cage.
Nice. One's in my house and one's at his.
You don't think he has.
So are these where you want
I
them, or you want them right
Matthew
here?
McConaughey, that's why she did that.
The schools?
Yeah. Judas Priest wasn't as
Right,
There's 2 songs.
Funky Bunch. Yeah, Little Bill. Who's in it? He's in that. Golden Oh, okay. You already got to see her a couple times. So one more word. That's going on. Who?
you said you stuck on the that you're gonna go see?
Okay.
It's a good one.
This girl Russell. Scared of you. 34.
What are you doing?
You know the girl Russell? 33. So you got the Kurt Russell? Yeah. His wife was doing. I know Kurt, that's Santa Claus. He plays Santa Claus. Kurt Russell plays Santa Claus. New York. Kurt Russell Snake. What's his name? Snake. This person.
through our
So you can basically have a concert in your own place.
Yeah, you live there.
That's
I
cool.
grew up on Wednesday or Thursday, I stayed on Monday.
Oh, that's
And
neat.
we went to the venue.
This one here, don't.
What all you see going on?
Or like that, or like J. Cole or Adam Sandler.
Be the celebrity, make the money where people like you.
Target without period.
It's a circus spot, we had this circus spot.
Oh, none of them problems no more.
So what's the cost of it?
What happened to you at Colorado? Tony told me he was there. I was there. He actually heard me. I said, no, he was going to basketball.
That's because you're tired, but all my days, everyone is, yeah.
I heard that. Oh, okay.
We did RV there, and we did it out Wednesday.
Oh, one of
No, I mean like 11. I miss a lot.
I was about to say, Ace.
So,
Let's see. Can we ask this in a picture? I just volunteered.
Oh, bear. That's the marshmallow. He looks ferocious. It's really,
I've never seen a fight. I'm talking about that recently. In 14 years, I've never seen a fight.
Especially drinks. Drinking dinner for 5 days.
no, they're cute. They're cute. I'll give you that. They're cute.
Well, yeah, they're trying to recreate that. I'm not a doctor.
They look like the fluffy ones.
That was like a hell show. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. You were out there? No.
Yeah, they're
People were stuck out there. Yeah, I got flooded. This morning they got flooded.
Yeah.
There's like famous actors like walking.
He's married, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of rain.
You see the crazy days?
Yeah.
Almost
I had to run my apartment.
Yeah.
People already go and like awesome and then you add like crunchy food and
He is. I wanted a ride
trying to survive.
that, but he's so lean that if he runs around with this all the time. He's super lean. Super fit. So,
Looking for daddy.
Why do you want to cut you?
I want him to slay around with me. But we're pretty active now.
Yeah,
He was selfish.
wait, snap, you lay down? That's what I got. I ain't gonna lie to you. Once I saw that,
What's the reason?
just side, nice now, I can only imagine. Where you snapped and he did that?
That is hilarious.
What?
Oh, check him out.
Oh my God. How many more weeks until they're ready to go?
It's like a massage chair.
They told me they were looking for friendship. I swear I had a friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This thing works well. It's like a swing when you have socks on. Just slide it on.
Y'all swing on that side?
Nice.
Test it.
Mindfulness.
munchie? He's calling me.
Oh, yeah.
No, every time I buy it, I'm so
That'll hold you.
I hear you.
Yeah, it will.
I hear you. We just go, you know, there's always a story. There's always a time
Let
when
me
it's
get
like,
my camera real quick. Hold on.
one time, you hear that noise and I go through the flow. How do you sit it?
Yeah, not as simple
Go
as
with
it
the
looks.
Huh?
So not as simple as it looks.
Yeah, that's why I'm just trying to figure it out and everybody watching the pressure's on.
Hard like that.
Alright.
Watch, turn around.
I don't know the price point yet. I'm gonna get some, I'll give his information and pass it along.
Oh, it's some free sitting there.
You didn't know you were getting a free workout in here, right?
Look at that. Look at that.
I don't think there is.
Some nice
I don't
abs.
think there is
Yeah.
one, but I'll check.
How long does it take for your draw?
Yeah. You know, do my event plan.
35.
Helps out.
You go 35 or the one that goes out towards like the
We're on the highway
Okay, that one, yeah, it's
so I
fine.
can either go 40 and
Yep,
then
and then extra there,
or
yep.
go boom and
That
then
240, that goes up, okay,
like
like south, 70, okay, yeah.
We get to do this here.
Yeah, the front porch is pretty much.
Yeah, go around.
I don't think I've been in the house.
Oh, okay, I know what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah, that's what
that's
it is.
on the other side of the airport.
Pretty much.
I think we something that is literally outside, just outside, so that
get off right there by
Keep straight, yep.
What do they have in consideration?
I think like, just like, you know, if you were to get something more
So you have a price point.
historical values and stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly, but next to the Auburn Temple, there's
There's a selection, so.
it's like trying to get free for it, but that's part of.
I went to Mount
Which means like windows, you have to have specific like windows that are really old or something. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, she was gonna take.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be my this time I'm not working. I'm not taking one.
I'll go help you get them all. Revolt.
Oh, okay. I'll be a total. Let me know you a
They had to fight and tussle in order for them to get we got you $13,000 so that they had to put it
And I created, it was like a big open.
I wonder who would know if they could know this.
All right.
Inside the house.
Take long. And then we had to talk to them for a little bit.
their own version of HOA.
I had two, she
You
had
said you're not taking
three.
them, so I didn't know.
I know, I was fostering, and then, one of them became very attached, and then I was just kinda like.
You did, right?
Him to me, and then I didn't wanna break his heart, you know? So I was like, alright, we're gonna have to have an understanding, and I had to train.
Yes.
And just so you know, I have some slides on my end that I can do full screen on my side, so if we have a way to.
Yes, sir. There should be a button. There should be a button at the bottom that says share screen, and
Okay.
if you'll do that, and then allow.
I've got 2 guests arriving now, not 1, so that count me?
Allow to share window, yep,
Yeah,
on the Mac.
plastic plates anymore?
Very busy.
Yes, well, it might be.
That's
Share
weird.
the window, so. Yeah, but like this.
Yes, you should be able to share a display or a window.
What does she
So.
remind me of?
Me?
I think we're
So
there.
here it is.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I'm like, I don't know what he was talking about. I was like, is
I'm
this back
looking
to the movies? Is this back to the movies?
Yes, sir.
Perfect, sir. Everything looks good on this end. We can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Let's see.
Great work.
So, okay.
Yeah.
We're still continuing. We will follow the,
Me too, and you just threw it out there like, we were talking about something else.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, it looks good on this end, sir. I think Tony's gonna be ready in just a moment.
Okay, yeah, I love it.
Can everyone hear that okay? Excellent.
Great. Yeah, here we go.
Can you see us too? What's going on, Carl?
Carl,
Hello? What's happening?
can you see on this side?
So, hello. So I'm seeing just a picture of me right now. So, hello everybody.
Hey, this is Billy. Renee? We actually started with appetizers before y'all got here, but you're in luck, because we saved you one. Or saved you two, I should say. Hey guys, I'm gonna do, for those of you in the house, I'm gonna do a couple quick announcements, just a little housekeeping, and then we're gonna start the content and the presentation that we hope to create. So, first of all, everybody, welcome to Paseo Pad. We're doing some sound checks, making sure everything's good on our end, but as you guys can see, we've got Carl Wheeler, my business partner on Paseo Pad here, joining us live from the Philippines. He's gonna share some of the real estate development stuff he's been looking at. Over there in the islands of the Philippines. It's quite gorgeous. But just so you guys know, you're all on camera. If anybody does not want to be on camera, that's what that table is for. So if anybody's like, oh no, this is your chance to give or not give consent. So we've got Miss Betty back there on the walk cooking up some amazing lumpias, which is Filipino food. So everybody shout out to Betty. Thank you for cooking in there, Betty. We've got Cole over here helping us. He's been amazing. His first time to do anything like this. He's taking care of the beverages. He's going to be serving you guys the food. So, but again, we're going to create video content so that we can reuse this and do future dinners like this for Filipino food, for the Paseo Pad as well. Ultimately, at the heart of what Carl and I have created is what we call canny development. Some people thought that was canny, like uncanny, because that's kind of what I thought of. Some people like Ace thought canny meant cannabis. And I'm like, no, it didn't have anything to do with that. So it's funny with canny, there's no telling. But we're going for a canny experience, which is really just Carl and Tony. CA from Carl, NY from Tony. But what that really means is the things that we enjoy doing and the vibes that we enjoy creating together, we want to create pads like Paseo Pad. We want to create bed and breakfast. We want to create real estate developments all the way in the Philippines that are like eco-friendly, where people can meditate, do yoga, have amazing clean food. We're talking about our vision for the Philippines. So this is literally a trial to scale up here in Paseo, multiple properties doing this very same thing, multiple properties including eco destination lodges in the Philippines where we can enjoy some amazing food like this. So again, just a little preview. Because this is housekeeping, I would ask you all if you can all mute your cell phones. You'll be on air, so we're going to try and minimize the movement. We're basically going to go on air for about an hour and share the presentation. So I'll have Q&A built in at 2 or 3 different spots. So if you have questions, I love questions. Just save your questions until I ask about that. And Susan, I'm actually going to put Ryu over here with you. Ryu, otherwise he's going to walk around the whole house and make noise. Any questions about any of that before we start our first promo, guys? Any questions about what or how we're going to do before we do it?
Hey, Ryu.
He likes Carl. All right. Well, we've got a special promo that we created using OTU Media, which is going to be our in-house digital creation specialist. They do full service, not just digital services, but cryptocurrency, and they basically turn your creations into content that we can use, and you'll see they do an amazing job. So here's our first promo. Those are rolling out. In case you guys are wondering, here at the Paseo Pad, anytime there's something special going on, we like to bang the gong. I would just like to welcome all of you to the Paseo Pad. Thank you for being here. We've got some amazing food here that's been Filipino inspired that I want to share with you guys. We've actually got a 3-course meal going on one plate that's Filipino inspired. You can see we have some amazing, I'm showing everybody joining us via live. We've got some amazing lumpias, which are spring rolls. Authentic Filipino mama made these for us. Miss Betty's been cooking them up in there for us. And you can see we've got some Asian inspired citrus mango salad. And then I think probably my favorite thing is this. I've been practicing this. This is called tinola. It's actually made with sayote, which is Filipino green papaya. It's like a squash. So you're gonna have a lot of chicken flavors. You're gonna have some ginger, some garlic. But most importantly, enjoy that sayote or that squash. It's delicious. So again, Filipino inspired because we want to share our plans for the Philippines as well as here at Paseo Pad. So we've got an excellent meal prepared for you guys. We've got a nice little 3-course appetizer taster type menu for us tonight. But I've got several special guests in here with me tonight. I know you all well. You all have either different connections to real estate or business projects I've worked on in the past, or the future, which is real estate development. So I want to thank all of you for being here. I've got 2 special friends in the house. I always give the first plate out to somebody special, and tonight it is Billy and Lene. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are special. So Lene, you're a dog. You get the first plate. Yes. So just so you guys know, in Portuguese, every time we eat, drink, or even we sneeze, we say saúde, which means to health. So I hope you guys enjoy this food, and everybody with me, saúde. Thank you. Obrigado. Carl says saúde all the way from the Philippines. He knows about that.
Saúde, obrigado.
I love it. So yeah, we've got a nice outline to share with you guys to kind of get through some important information in a way that you guys will hopefully enjoy it. Again, bringing Carl live in from the Philippines so that we can share our plans, not just for Paseo Pad and real estate development here in Paseo, in the heart of Oklahoma City. You guys enjoy Paseo? Those of you locals, you know it's a good district, right? Everybody's nodding, I love it. We want to bring the Paseo culture in here to the Paseo Pad. We want to create a modern day take on a bed and breakfast that's part stay like you would at a bed and breakfast, or like at an Airbnb, similar concept. We also want to create a vibe where you can play. So we've got different zones that you can play in, you can create content in, you can create art in. We want the local art culture from Paseo to come in here and not just pour off of our walls, but to bring the artists in and have them be inspired and create content right here. So that includes digital content, multimedia, anything AI or technology related. We've actually got our own in-house team that's been formed to offer everybody full service digital content, AI marketing services, because we've got the perfect space for you to come in here and create content just like we're doing tonight, right? So if we can flash up our new logo, basically at the heart of Paseo Pad, what we have is stay, play, and vibe. And we've got a logo with those words underneath it. But that's the heart of what we're trying to create. The reality is you guys bring the vibe in with you. We can theme the vibe and make it Filipino. We can set up content zones with whatever vibe you want, but if you got birthday vibes or dinner vibes or whatever the vibes are you want to bring in with your friends and family, now you've got an excellent space to do it. That's part event center, but at the heart of it, we're really focused on anywhere from half a dozen people up to like 77 people. We're not trying to be a big event center and do 100, 150 people. We want this to feel intimate and unique like it is. So with that being said, that's just a little intro and welcome here. Glad you're here. You're some of the first people to see Paseo Pad. But tonight's really more about the Philippines. And whenever I MC or I talk, put the camera on me if you would, Meadow, because I definitely want a good view for Carl on this one. Camera on me. I don't see me. Is that?
I'm producing from over here.
But say Carl can see me.
I can see
There we go. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. I've been talking to this camera up here thinking this was my camera.
I see you too.
Guys, here's what's funny. Whenever I do stuff like this, I always like to dress appropriately. I'm actually in cover-up mode right now because I felt like Carl, I really needed a good Philippines vibe. So I'm going to do a wardrobe change right here in the middle of the whole show just to show you guys that, to me, this was the best thing I had in my closet that was Filipino vibe. What do you think? Yeah. Carl, you recognize that character right here? Yeah. The best part is this was supposed to come in for Ryu's birthday. We had a big birthday bash for Ryu, and it came in about a week ago, which was like a month after his birthday. So tonight's the perfect night to unveil it. And Carl, my only question is, do I have a Filipino vibe or no? Should I leave this at home or bring it when I come to the Philippines? I knew you would. That's why I made sure you saw it.
You look more Filipino than my background right now. I'm in a conference room right now.
I love it. So, the other thing that I'd like to highlight is part of the brainchild and the creation here behind Paseo Pad is we have different zones where you can do different activities and have fun in different ways, right? So, as you guys may have noticed, there's this weird circle in the middle of the living room, right? Does anybody know what that is? I get a lot of questions about this weird circle. Anybody know what that is?
A gong.
A gong? Absolutely. That's the right answer. That's first. So the funny thing is a lot of people ask me about this, and my answer is usually, well, this is whatever you want it to be. The reality is this is the movement zone. Imagine by day in here that we've got yoga mats, and we can literally do content creation like media studio style for yoga around this. We can obviously do stretch and movement. We can do Pilates. And guys, I'll just tell you right now, when I first walked in here, I put this swing back up, and I had 2 yoga mats. Pretty soon it was 3 yoga mats, and then it was 4, and then I started clearing other stuff out. My point is, I realized that the center of activity in this house is right where you guys are, triangled right up with this. Usually when people come in here, they're just kind of like, they just like to hang out and talk, and honestly, it's kind of fun, and I've really caught in the vibe. But I gotta tell you, when I first walked in here, I was in old man pain mode, and I literally would come in here every morning, and I would just stretch my body like this, and it hurt too much, and that was about all I could do. After a couple of weeks of doing that, I started going like this and swinging on it for as long as I could. It wasn't long, and I was doing pull-ups. Every day I come in and do pull-ups now. The crazy thing is you can swing on this thing and you can get going really fast, and you go faster if you want to, and it's really fun. But you might get dizzy. And lastly, some of the girls taught me this, because you can just jump up there and you can swing. Isn't that great? So, you guys can see that it's a little radical and wild that we have this in the middle of the living room, but it's literally become part of the vibe here at Paseo Pad. So there's your little preview of the movement zone. What do you guys think of the movement zone? Love it. Carl, now that you've seen the movement zone in work, what do you think about the new updated movement zone?
I mean, I love the movement zone. I mean, it's just movement. When the chairs aren't there, you can grab it and you can go in a big circle around.
Right? I love it. We're going to create all kinds of new stuff using the movement zone. So,
Yeah, I was thinking, my yoga instructor, when I lived in Phoenix, she had a very simple thing that told me, that she told the class at the end of the class each time. And she said, like, how are you feeling? If you want to feel better, you can do 4 things. You can get good, you can eat good food, you can you can movement. You do 4 things every day, you'll feel good. So, you did 1 of 4 just now. I mean, you feeling good.
I love it. Thank you, Carl. I'm glad you got to enjoy that. And I think this camera here is just for your view, so now you've got a view of us as you need it. I think I just messed Moto's good work up, and I don't know what I'm doing. So one more intro, and then we'll jump into the presentation, guys. Again, I want to welcome you to Paseo Pad. I like to call it a stay, play, and vibe. The reality is conceptually, when I first started talking about this, I basically told everybody the best way to explain what Paseo Pad is to give you an example. So if a bed and breakfast went out for the night and they wanted to go out for a night on their town with their old buddy from college, so the bed and breakfast meets up with their buddy at an event center. They try to go out and have some fun, and they end up in an escape room. My question is, what do you guys think would happen as a result of that night out on town with those 3 unique beings? Anybody? It's funny because I get that a lot, and you know what the answer is? The answer is I don't know either. I don't know what would happen, but the reality is the result of a love child between a bed and breakfast, an event center, and an escape room is exactly what we have here at Paseo Pad, right? So you can do a small event just like we're doing here tonight with a couple dozen people. There's all kinds of ways, but it's essentially intended to be a unique space where you can create your own vibe and bring your people in. So again, welcome to Paseo Pad. We hope you all come back to stay, play, and vibe with us. So thank you for being here for the Filipino dinner. So that's kind of an intro on Paseo Pad. The last thing I would say about this is initially when Carl and I first started talking about Paseo Pad, we thought it was just going to be an Airbnb concept and a Turo concept because we've actually got a Tesla and a couple other vehicles that are part of a Turo fleet that we want to offer here at Paseo Pad as well. But we originally thought we were just going to dabble in VRBO, Airbnb type stuff, Turo. And as we came in and really started putting our brains together, we realized we not only had a unique space and a unique concept, and as people like Ace was awesome. He was one of the first people I brought in here. And honestly, it was his girl, Shauna, that came in here and gave me the idea to create content zones. And when she brought that vision, it just kept growing. So the idea of doing content and arts and having unique things that we can move around like this kind of came out of that. But I say all that to say, Carl and I's vision for this property has definitely grown as we now see it as a full real estate development project. We not only want to scale it up as a full-scale bed and breakfast, but we're hoping to buy the houses and maybe even some empty lots here on this block so that we end up with multiple properties and this becomes the mother property that people can all enjoy. So part of what we want to do with development is really focus on the backyard because we want to take the garage and turn it into a showroom quality experience for our in-house construction company and our in-house artists. So we'll have an art studio in the garage. So imagine walking into the garage and it looks like a beautiful showroom, allows us to do a lot more events when the weather's nice. But most importantly, once we get done with the garage, we plan to invest around $250,000 just in the backyard and garage alone, because the backyard will become a series of 7 different gardens. We'll have a rock garden and patio. We'll have a fire garden. We'll have a water garden. We'll have a food garden, and then koi pond and just different things where people can go back there and truly enjoy the experience. The bottom line of that, guys, is I believe we're building a Paseo destination. We are developing a destination that will become known, not just in Oklahoma City, but especially for Paseo. I personally believe that once we bring the artistic flair and liven up that backyard with the vibe that is Paseo, the Paseo Pad will be known as a destination, not just in Paseo, but for all of Oklahoma City. I believe the gardens will stand out and attract more people than it's okay, Betty. You're working hard in there, so you're allowed to make noise. It's all right. But yeah, the reality is when we develop the backyard and take this up to as we transition it, I believe it's really gonna come alive. So I appreciate you guys being here, being part of the initial vision, seeing what we're doing. And basically, we're in preview mode right now, and we go live Super Bowl Sunday. So we got 1 week until grand opening, and we feel like this part that you guys are enjoying is ready for you to enjoy. So, Carl, anything you want to say about that before we start talking about the Philippines?
Thank you.
Can you guys tell I put Carl on the spot? I put Carl on the spot, and he always responds.
Okay, actually, I do have something. That's right. Yeah, I wish that was my breakfast.
The food look good? So, looks like we're getting some quality issues. Sometimes that happens when Carl and I chat. We chat 3 to 5 times a week, and sometimes there's some internet lag with the Philippines. So hopefully as we transition to Carl speaking here, we can see how that goes. So basically I want to bring Carl in.
Tony, I'll put.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Oh, Tony, I was just saying, next week I'm moving into my new place and looking forward to having a solid internet connection. So that's one of the things I'll add.
Love it. That's great news. So the first part of the Philippines we want to talk about tonight, we're going to do more of a question and answer where Carl can share some of the things that he and I have been talking about. And Carl has been over in the Philippines, has family connections to the Philippines, and he's got a very unique bridge, if you will, that connects Oklahoma to the Philippines. So, Carl, would you not only tell us about your background and how you came from Oklahoma and your little bit of your business you've got going on in Oklahoma, but can you share with us what's going on with this unique bridge you're building between Oklahoma and Philippines, my friend?
Definitely. I'll try to keep that one pretty brief. I just high level. I'm a West Point grad. I was in the Army for 5 years, and after the Army, I devoted myself to a life of entrepreneurship, which is basically a life of ups and downs and struggles and successes, and It's just been a pretty amazing journey. And so, I've done a few things that have worked, done a bunch of things that haven't, over the years. I'm proud. My most recent, the most recent, work that I did was with High Grade Labs. I founded High Grade Labs. It's a cannabis testing lab based there in Oklahoma City. And now it's a multi-state operation. I've managed to detach myself from the day-to-day operations, but they are continuing to operate in 3 states. So that's been that's been fun and educational. I also, before that, I co-founded a virtual reality headset company called Simula VR, which is an ongoing. They are actually in production of headsets right now, receiving pre-orders. They've received a couple thousand pre-orders. They cost $3,000 to $5,000 a piece, and we actually just recently got funding from if anyone in the crypto space knows Ethereum. The founder of Ethereum, his name is Vitalik Buterin. He actually gave us a 400 ETH investment in that company a couple of months ago, and so Vitalik's on the board for Simula now, which is kind of cool.
No, that's a good update. I didn't even know that part yet.
That's awesome.
Fresh.
Yeah.
As you guys can see, Carl's got a great amount of experience in really diverse industries here in Oklahoma. He still has businesses operating here in Oklahoma, but part of his vision has changed recently as he feels the need to expand in Philippines. So, Carl, tell us again, what's this unique bridge between Oklahoma City and the Philippines to be connected?
Yeah. So, over the last few years, that's kind of a personal question.
Right.
At least that's where it started. And so, over the last several years, I've done a lot of work myself with, Tony, like you've been super helpful in this with me, but I've worked on, I've had anxiety and depression in the past from Army and all the things that life throws at us. And one of the things that I've learned is how to change my mindset to, from a mindset of fear and worry into one of abundance and love and optimism. And so one of the fundamental reason why I came to the Philippines was because I was following the mantra of follow the love, and that for me that meant my fiance Kyla is Filipina. She's half Filipina, half British, and she came to live with me in Oklahoma for a little while. We were with each other in the UK for a little while, and basically I just decided to come with her here because she has family here. I knew it was, the Philippines is a beautiful place. I heard that, and really I showed up here 4 months ago. I just fell in love with the place. It's way better than I had imagined ways. So I committed to take all the things that I have learned over the years of reading books and having experiences, to just applying all of that knowledge and all that I learned here in the Philippines. And so, over the last 4 months, I've, in addition to building a relationship with Kyla and her family and all the connections that involves, I've been looking for a way to add value and to have purpose here. And for me, that means building businesses. So that's the summary, I think, Tony.
That's great. I feel like you answered the first question and the second question, but the second question was why Philippines, and obviously the the love answer just kind of covered that beautifully, but is there more? The love answer and the Kyla answer and the family connections there covered that beautifully, but is there more from a business perspective, Carl, about why you chose the Philippines?
Definitely, and I mean that is one of the surprising and nice things that I discovered here, is just the amount of abundance and opportunity that is here. It's like when people think of the Philippines, just whatever you think about the Philippines, if you haven't been there, it's probably not what you have in mind. I mean, it's everyone's nice. People are really helpful. I know I've talked a lot about the idea of abundance. It's like people share, and which is something that I identify with. And so it's like everyone I talk to, it's like I feel like doors are being opened. And so people speak English here, which makes it easy to get around. We're gonna kind of go back and forth from personal to business, just like the way it works, I think. But like, kind of a sad thing, also. I mean, it's just reality. Like the pandemic was really hard here, and so, like for example, Kyla's mom is she's a hustler and a go-getter, and she had a little logistics trucking business before the pandemic. But during the pandemic, the government shut down like everything, and so like she wasn't able to run her truck and then also make payments on her truck, and so she lost her truck. And she's an example of like a whole bunch of people in that boat. So what it means now is if you have capital, you can do anything. And so it's like I'm just gonna, in the next couple of months, I'm just gonna buy a truck for her so that she can be operating again. And so it's like that's a kind of a big part of the opportunity. It's like it's kind of a sad thing because not everyone is, clearly not everyone has a good view on it. But like, if you have capital and you have time to allocate here, that's what they need. Like the whole country needs people buying trucks, and doing development.
Good stuff. Thank you, Carl.
So there's opportunity to develop.
Lots of opportunity. And really, ever since Carl first got down there, we've talked about different industries, different opportunities. We talked about some stuff in the restaurant industry. Decided we didn't want to have to deal with some of those headaches. We talked about tourism. We talked about staffing, like how do we provide Filipino staffing? If you're executive level, it's a great thing to do. I believe in the Filipino workforce and think we should all be using them for staffing here in America. But we looked into different ventures like that, and ultimately we honed in on real estate. Not just real estate, but specifically real estate development. So it could be taking a single family dwelling like this, converting into a bed and breakfast or a destination. But then our dreams kept growing, and now we've looked at anything from very small development properties to very large scale development properties. So Carl, tell us more about that. What is it that kind of caused your business mindset to want to lock in on real estate, specifically real estate development, given that there is so much opportunity over there in the Philippines for business-wise, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, Tony, 4 months have been pretty amazing. I've been open and I've been curious, and I've talked to just dozens of people and building relationships and learning about different industries. I've learned about the mining industry, logistics industry, both domestic and international, farming, and how it works here, and like real estate, commercial, it's like, talking with developers of big skyscrapers, residential, people who make, like subdivisions, And like solar power, like next week I'm going to tour a solar power plant here in Luzon, because I also have an interest in that. And that's a whole nother thing. Like, if you ask me what the world needs 3 years from now, like we need power. Like, we need power for AI. That's a huge thing. We just need electricity for electric vehicles. But real estate is a relatively easy thing to get into, and it's kind of like a secret. Feels like it's like the thing that people do that no one talks about. And so as I'm like meeting different people, different groups, our meeting are like doing real estate. And so like that's an indicator to me, like, okay, these smart people who live here, that's what they hone in on. And so I've talked to people who have bought and sold real estate, and like the returns are just kind of weird, like kind of crazy to say out loud. So just to buy and sell real estate is a good opportunity. It's helpful, like in my position, it is helpful because through families to have connections to like local administrators who can help us, get through the red tape. They can help us get roads built in the different locations, which is one of the things. Like you can buy a piece of farmland, that's 5 kilometers off the road, and if you build a road to it, it like will just 10x it value. And so there's just lots of opportunity. So I've gone to several different islands. I've seen multiple dozen different like deals. I've spent a lot of time with families here, and they've been really open with me, because I have a mentality of we want to come in and we want to develop and we want to do real estate, but also at the benefit of the people here. And so, preserving local traditions and local customs, like hiring people here, just generally being really like good, neighbors.
I love that
Does that
answer.
answer the question?
I love that answer, Carl, because it not only highlights an obvious, series of business needs in multiple industries that real estate is the foundation for, but most importantly, when you're overseas, especially when you're on the islands, you're in a very closed, tight group. My family's originally from the Azore Islands in Portugal. And when you know a local, you stay with a local, you work with locals, you begin to adapt to local practice, and that's so important because you never want to try and do real estate development, honestly, as a solely westernized culture, because you got to connect with the locals. So that's one thing Carl and I have strategized about from the beginning, and he's met some amazing mentors who own half of some of these islands that we're looking at. And it's going to be not just an incredible experience to him to gain that knowledge of how to do this at the executive level from these guys, but to go all the way down to our contractors will be Filipino. And my point is that network has been opened up and put at the table for Carl to utilize. Did I summarize that well, Carl? Anything you want to add to that before we move to the next point?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
It's like anytime we're in a different country, I mean, or even it all comes down to like just relation, and it's like the families who we can speak English together. It's like we want the same thing. We want our families to be safe. We want to have purpose. It's like we want the same things, and so yeah.
So that kind of gives you guys a little bit of an idea and an understanding and a background of what's possible here. we are working on a formal real estate investment development proposal. Right now, we're basically just wanted to preview that. We've got a few slides that Carl's gonna share here in just a minute. The good news is, guys, what I wanna know, you guys can get your, PowerPoint brought up while I transition here with the guests, and we'll put you on in about 2 minutes, Carl. So my question was, how did you guys like the Filipino food? Good? Tastes good? What do you think of that chicken soup? What's that?
Got a nice flavor.
Right? That soup is one of my favorite things I've tasted. Good news is we've also got dessert. For those of you joining us online, I'll give you a little preview. We've got some exotic flavors from the island. First of all, we start off with a vanilla bean yogurt, and we've mixed in some papaya, granola, and some nuts, so you should have a nice little vanilla fruity flavor. And my second person tonight that gets this is gonna be Susan. I bet you're surprised.
Hey!
Thank you for all your help and for watching my boy over here. You doing good, right? Yeah, most of you know Ryu. He's my shadow. We'll let him say hi to everybody on the camera there. You guys can see he's such a good looking good boy. That's why I got a shirt with Ryu on it, right? Again, definitely want to let you guys know what's coming here. Carl's prepared just a few slides that we can share with you to highlight multiple opportunities that he and I have been talking to. The one thing I would say is over the last 3 months, we've gone through 3, 4, 5 dozen different properties. He's looked at more than I even know about, and some of them were rough and needed a lot of work. A lot of them, it's in the process. The whole area is in the process of being developed, so it's perfect timing for us to step into some of those. So we've highlighted a couple examples just to share with you guys. So I'm going to turn it over to Carl and let him share this real estate presentation.
Great, thanks Tony. Here's me. I put a few slides together just to help us talk. This is me. That's it. I think we kind of covered that. Happy to be here. Thank you. We've talked about a little bit of this. The Philippines, some special things about the Philippines. The cost of living is low. People speak English. The culture here is that we as Westerners get a little bit of a boost because people just like and trust Western things here, in particular American things, and so pretty much anything with an American spin to it just really does well here. That's just kind of the way it is. Is it low? Because there's just not a lot of people willing to completely pull up their anchor and drop it in the Philippines. There's certainly people who come here to retire, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm coming to the Philippines to build business, to help and inspire other young entrepreneurs to find that freedom for themselves.
Hey sir, will you double check your screen share real quick? I don't know if we're sharing the screen appropriately the way that you.
Am I coming through, Tony?
Well, we can see you and we can see a screen share, but I don't think the screen share is coming. Do you have a slide on screen now, sir?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
you can see slides yet?
Yeah, we don't see the slides right now is the problem.
Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Yeah, slides.
There we go. Yes, we had it again there for a moment.
Okay, so I've got it. Let's see, I got it.
What was in that tea? No,
What about now? Is there a slide here?
No, we're probably, oh, there it is. Yes, that's it. That's what we're looking for right there. I believe you can carry on. Yes, we're looking at you. I believe you can carry on, sir.
Nice photo, Carl.
Okay, so the Philippines slide here?
Yes, sir. We're good. You can carry on.
Okay. Alright, great.
Thank you.
I was just talking about some of the positive business aspects of the Philippines. Yeah, the sense that I have is we're in this post-pandemic period where growth is really ramping up. And I also get the feeling as I'm traveling around to these different places that people are starting to learn about the Philippines. Like, one of the biggest things is that people speak English here. So I spent a few weeks in Thailand, looking at some different business opportunities there, and it just hard to get around there. Like things are cheap and a lot of it's through there, but like you just can't. Nurse English, you can properly negotiate the sense that people. So, like the Philippines want to be an American state. Like you know, I'm friends with one of the mayors of the town where pretty is, and they're really proud. They want to be like a state or two, like it was discussed that they can become a state, or at least territory like Guam. And they, for some reason, they decided not. But like the Philippines consider themselves like a territory of the U.S. They thought, I'll be familiar with stuff. People have started to learn. So if I'm looking into the future, if I didn't be in the future, I see a lot of people coming here to the Philippines, whether they're remote workers or just people to retire or to work or just to live a simple life in nature. Yeah, it's just a nice place to be. So this is one of the places that I went for about a week. It's called San Vicente in Palawan. Palawan, there is a place here called Boracay, which is a very popular tourist destination, but it's very crowded and it wasn't well planned. And San Vicente is considered like the next Boracay. San Vicente has an airport that's going to be done in 3 years, and so people will be able to fly from all over the world directly to San Vicente. As you can see here, this is kind of a big deal. Mega World is a huge real estate conglomerate, and they spent 40 billion pesos, which is like around $900 million. The conversion is about 55 pesos per dollar. So they bought a bunch of this pristine land. They started development. Like I was there. Like I talked to some of their development arm who was starting to pre-sell some of the condos there. Yeah, so it's like you go there now and it's still just this pristine beach, but it's just it will rapidly change over the next 3 to 5 years. And so, I saw at least a dozen places while I was there. I was traveling with one of the head administrator of the head administrator of a town here, who just kind of knows everybody and he's family friends, and it's super important. So these are just two examples of land on the island. If I had unlimited money, I would just buy both.
Yeah, okay. I saw the 10K up front, I'm like.
So one of them is this farmland. The owner was this super nice lady. This is like family land, but you know they're just basically they're ready to stop rice farming. They want to sell the land. They are in like relative like economic. The pandemic was hard on them, and so this is 5 hectares of farmland. The one on the left, and so the way that real estate is bought and sold and thought out here is per square meter. So a hectare is 10,000 square meters, which is like 2.3 acres. You know, so 5 hectares is I should know exactly. It's somewhere between 12 and 13 acres, I think. But this is the way land is thought about here. So 2,500 per square, which comes out to about $2 million. It's a few kilometers from the beach. The road is being constructed right now, and they are neighbors with Mega World. This is land right next to Mega World, and which, well, like we just know the way that real estate works when there's a huge development that happens right next to, you know, nothing, or a real estate or paddy, like the rice paddy just goes up big time. So, if we were just to buy and hold it over the next years, once Mega, you know, I think we could sell for 10K and like 10K square, and like that seems pretty conservative. If decide to it's like the lady who's owning it now is like, why are you selling it? It's like she's just not in a position to hold for 5 years, you know, like a lot of people here. She needs money now. And so, yeah, it's a good one. There's also there's lots of beachfront that's available. This one is one in particular that stuck out to me. So it's 2 hectares, would be $5 million to purchase of this pristine beachfront. It's called Long Beach. I had some videos, but the videos weren't working. I mean, imagine this, it's like a paint video and there's just nothing, steeples. It's a place that 3 to 5 years from now is going to fill with people in resorts. This, through our friends, we can get this little 10K square. Developers are buying at 30 to 40K per square. And just down the street is Mega World, and like, you know, I went to their office. You know, like I'm like a person buying. You want to buy like a pre-sale condo beachfront house, and they are pre-selling lots for 140K. Like, you know, they haven't even started the work yet. So yeah, that's one way that just this 2 hectares can be bought and
Hey, Carl,
like these other could.
just so you know, I think we're having some connection difficulties. You were doing about 70% of what you're saying was coming through.
Okay.
Now we're about down to 50. So if you want, we can go through these next slides a little quicker because we're having trouble seeing them. And what I would like to do is save a few minutes for anybody in the audience to ask you some questions. So why don't you just skim through these last few slides and we'll do a few minutes of Q&A, hopefully, while we can hear you.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so same as Laguna is where it's we have a lot of business. This is a house I'm about to live in, and I'm using it as an example. This is a house that basically could be bought and fixed up for $50K, and then flipped and sold for $100K USD. You know, in a matter of like a year and a half. And so places that just need to be bought.
And are you seeing a lot of properties over there in line with this one? I know this is the one you selected for your first personal home, but also eventually business, but how common is this?
It's to people like me. It's like I walk through it. Yeah, it's like I walk through a neighborhood, a quarter of that is already updated and to be bump fit and stuff. Like that's the thing.
Alright, again, we're having a lot of trouble understanding you, it's so choppy. Go ahead and go to the last slide, at least they were able to see this one and get an idea.
So there's a house, and so like that's a way to put you know 50K USD to work, and then this is more of a larger scale project. You know, basically we could buy 34 hectares, you know, 60 acres or 70 acres of farmland, hold it, sell it to a developer at a multiple, or we put money into it, develop our own subdivision, you know, and have a 6x multiple on quite a bit of money. You know, this is a development project. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'll stop.
just,
Open it to questions.
yeah, I'll transition us. Thank you, Carl. Really appreciate that. Great information. What we tried to do is show you guys 3 different style of deals. One deal that if you had 50K you wanted to invest and get an ROI, that's possible. But I know for some of you, you're like me, you love vacation in the island. So what I want to do is acquire a property that will cash flow positive for me and is there for me whenever I want. And when I'm not there, it's working for me. So that's one example. For as little as 50K, we can get people started in investment property in the Philippines and give them a place to vacation. If you want to go up from there, or if you want to put a group together and 5 or 6 people put in 50 each, then we're talking about some of the middle development that we saw, you know, the 250 to 500 range. Then if you want to go bigger, or as our properties succeed in the Philippines and we want to go large scale, we have the ability to pick up large chunks of land and either sell it off to a developer or develop it ourselves. We see ourselves doing all of that based on bringing the right people to the table, bringing the right people to the Philippines. So that's what we tried to show there. Great slides. Carl, the one thing I can say is I noticed everybody's attention kind of went up when they saw that beach picture. So tell us about the beaches. That's my first question. And you know, what's the opportunity there? Is there a lot of land still available to buy on the beach like the 2 hectares you showed us?
Yes. So
2x house
so that beach was in Sente, and that's a tourism beach. There's that's a place that needs to be developed, but I also saw other places that have like I went to a guy's house who retired and built his beach house, beautiful, down the street from there. It was for sale. So there's like go, you could get a place that's already been built. Like if that's what if what you want is just a house on the beach, there's just lots of those. And there's also just lands that need developed to build a house. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, that's great. Part of what we're doing is obviously following some big investment capital in that. If they're putting close to $1 billion into the Mega World property, right? We know everything around that is going to be developed. So we're targeting properties near that zone, off. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a lot of this is different people will have different desires, and so it kind of depends on just kind of what the intent is and what.
All right. Carl, unfortunately, you're breaking up really bad, but I think we have definitely whetted the appetite of everybody in the room. Would you guys agree with that statement? I got some big eyes and some drooling faces from that food, and the beach just kind of sunk it all in as if, you know. But definitely, we love seeing the preview. We look forward to doing this again and expanding what we've shared with you guys tonight. Carl, I'm going to turn it over for you for just a wrap-up conclusion thought, but again, we're having trouble hearing you, and then we'll pull up the Paseo Pad logo and I'll do our wrap-up. But go ahead, is there anything you want to say that we can hopefully hear? All right, guys, I apologize. Now we start talking. We love you, Carl. We don't love technical difficulties, so we're gonna work on that next, guys.
Thank you, Tony. It's just a pleasure.
Thank you. We appreciate you joining us first thing in the morning.
Good job there.
Now go get some breakfast.
Thank you. Y'all have a great evening. Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. All right, guys, give it up for Carl and the Philippines preview. If you enjoyed that, all right, thank you. I'm gonna do one quick wrap up just so we can get this for content purposes. Again, I want to thank everybody for being at the Paseo Pad, where you can stay, play, and vibe. It's been an amazing experience to share our Filipino preview of what we're hoping to do with real estate development in the Philippines. Who would have ever thought that right here in Paseo, in the middle of Oklahoma City, that a vision for a new pad here in Paseo that meets the vibe of Paseo would not only develop here, but we would build a bridge from Paseo all the way to the Philippines. So when it comes to real estate development, Carl and I are both all in. We're passionate about real estate. We're passionate about this project. And we're even more excited to build this bridge and see what comes out of this Oklahoma to Philippines connection. So I thank you all for being here for the preview. Now you know why there's a bridge being built from Paseo to the Philippines, and it starts right here where you guys are at tonight. So again, thank you, everybody. Come back and see us at Paseo Pad. Just so you know, our grand opening is, again, Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to do a full-on production using, again, OTU Media. They've been excellent. You'll see when this comes out. But we're literally going to have our own Super Bowl commercial be aired at the halftime show here at Paseo Pad. So we invite you all for our special grand opening and big Super Bowl party that'll be more about Paseo Pad than football. So whether you love football or hate it, I promise you, you will enjoy the vibe. So come join us for our grand opening, guys. Thank you. Welcome to the Paseo Pad.